show us the t-shirt again and tell us a little bit behind the t-shirt.
I'm happy to. So the t-shirt is consciousness plus courage equals transformation. And that is really the, I'm going to say, foundation of the book. The concept or the notion that we have to have both consciousness and courage in order to transform ourselves. So give me a minute, because I really want to kind of talk about that a little bit more, because it's so very important. And the fact that I picked this particular concept out of the entire, I think it's 253 pages, I think tells you how important it is to me, right? So consciousness plus courage equals transformation. We need both, right? So in order to lead with impact, we need conscious clarity, right? A really deep awareness of who we want to be as leaders and how we want our teams, our organizations to function. This vision, this consciousness has to be very clear, it has to be unambiguous, and it has to be ever present in the forefront of our mind. We have to be conscious of our own values, and more importantly, intentionally, how we're going to demonstrate those values. Because I think, we all have our values, we all have our espoused values, but it's turning those espoused values into lived values, right? Which is why clarity alone really isn't enough. We also need courage, the willingness to act in alignment with our values, with our vision, with our aspirations, even when it's difficult. And it's often more difficult than it's not, right? So living in full integrity with who we want to be is often uncomfortable, and we know it can be challenging. Yet without courage, our convictions remain really just kind of idle thoughts, idle ideas. So we have to have both this consciousness and this courage, because consciousness without courage breeds anxiety, disappointment in ourselves, because we're like, I didn't live up to what I wanted to. It breeds regret and guilt, can breed defensiveness, right? When people challenge us on things. So it's knowing what's right, but lacking the will to act, right? Courage without consciousness is recklessness, right? It's like fools rushing in without direction or purpose. So without consciousness, we become reactive. I talked about that earlier when I was talking about the leaders I was working with. We make haphazard decisions that don't align with our true vision, and we tend to drift kind of aimlessly without a rudder to guide us. Without consciousness, on the other hand, we remain stagnant, really unable to move forward. So courage, in a sense, is the wind that propels us into action, even when there's resistance. And it gives us the strength to navigate all the uncertainty, the criticism, and even the fear, while staying true to our chosen path, which is, again, our consciousness. So consciousness sets the direction. Courage ensures the journey. And together, they create meaningful transformation. And like I said a moment ago, that's why from an entire 253-page book, that is the phrase that I chose to put on a t-shirt. And this is the t-shirt that will be gifted out as Vince was talking about gifts later on.